Good Saturday morning, everyone. Today on Perspectives, if you didn't know, the Mobile County Public Magnet Schools are award-winning and considered among the best in Alabama. There are incredible success stories to tell you about, and there are still openings at the MCPSS's high-performing magnet schools. A magnet school actually provides specialized academy programs that challenge students who choose to pursue an intense curriculum based on the field that they are interested in. It can be science and technology, math and logistics, liberal and creative arts, including dance and theater. The results since the formation of these schools have been impressive. For example, Phillips Preparatory has been named the 5th best middle school in the state of Alabama. Clark Shaw has been recognized as the #1 magnet school for middle schools in the state. And currently, there are 8 magnet schools in the Mobile County Public School system. And right now, slots remain at just 4 of the middle schools in the magnet school program. Well, this morning, we talked with principals of some of the top magnet schools in Mobile County and Alabama. They all say the same thing about their success: hard work from the students and teachers, as well as a strong commitment from the parents who want their children to succeed in a curriculum that not only makes them happy, but challenges them to achieve every day. Well, to talk about the opportunities a magnet school offers students are the principals of 4 of Mobile County's magnet schools. They are Andrea Dennis. Phillips Preparatory is her school. James Gill of the Denton Magnet School of Technology. Dr. Valerie Johnson, principal of the Dunbar School of Creative and Performing Arts, and Tamisha Taylor Jackson of the Clark Shaw School of Math, Science, and Technology. Well, these principals say that it's still not too late for you to apply for certain magnet schools in the county, and hear what they have to say as Perspectives continues in just a moment. Guest this morning, Mrs. Andrea Dennis. She is the principal of Phillips Preparatory Magnet School, and Mr. James Gill. He is the principal of Denton Magnet School of Technology. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We've got quite a story to tell about the schools and the magnet programs at several of our local middle schools here in Mobile County. Success story where the schools are ranked as some of the best in the state of Alabama, especially among the schools in the different categories, elementary and magnet. And so this morning we want to sort of give you a chance to brag about it a little bit, as well as toot your horn, because it's always great news to hear our schools performing well, because that's so important to have that offered for the community, and especially a system as large as Mobile County. We're talking the largest system in the state, and you're having some outstanding success. Let's start out first, Mrs. Dennis. Tell us, how do you think Phillips became the 5th best middle school in the state of Alabama?
Well, Phillips Preparatory is an extraordinary school, and I think it boils down to a commitment to having high expectations for the students, hiring phenomenal teachers and support staff. We have really engaged students, and providing an accelerated curriculum that really challenges our children. And that's resulted in really great student achievement at the school.
Now, I know that sometimes some of the schools, when they are in that preparatory status, they put a lot on the students where they have to assume the responsibility for their life. Is that a part of the Phillips approach?
Absolutely. Our theme at Phillips is International Baccalaureate, so we have a middle years program with IB. And in the IB framework, we encourage our students to be self-directed. We want them to be independent. So we facilitate learning, but we encourage them and empower them to be able to tackle these things on their own. We want to challenge them, and we want them to be curious learners, analytical learners, and as again I said, self-directed. So the International Baccalaureate framework is really designed in order to facilitate that.
And for those who may not be aware, I just wanted to brag on you a moment, because you were recognized for your work. Prior to becoming a principal, you were an outstanding assistant principal, in fact the best in the state a few years ago.
Yes, sir. In 2015 I was awarded Assistant Principal of the Year for the state of Alabama, and in 2019 Assistant Principal of the Principal of the Year for the state of Alabama. But that's all due to the teams that I had supporting me at both of those schools.
That is outstanding, and congratulations on the more recent one that I was not aware of. I'm very proud of you indeed.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Gill, a chance for you to talk about Denton, because that's quite a success story as well. Some of those who may be aware of Denton from past years gone by, always wanting to see it do better because they knew that it could, and now Denton is being recognized as well for its success in the classroom and your students' performance. Tell us what has happened there since you've been there.
Denton has been a great journey. We've started this process about 6 years ago where we made the conversion over to a magnet school. And in that short amount of time there, we've been able to increase the academics in our school. We've also been recognized at the state and national levels as an outstanding middle school. As this process has begun, better preparing our students for the high school level. One of the last things that we have completing here is the pre-AP program. And like I said, this has been a 6-year journey. Starting at about 2 years ago, we've been modifying our curriculum there at Denton Magnet to make sure that we're better aligned with the AP programs for the high schools that are across the county and across the state. With that process going through there, we have been selected as one of the 5 schools that will have the pre-AP program for the state of Alabama. That is just another recognition of the teachers and the staffs and the students' hard work in making sure that they pay attention to detail. They own the work that they're doing there and doing an outstanding job.
We noticed the difference in our daughter's study habits after her completing the program over at Phillips. What are you hearing from parents and former students who are now at the next level or may have already graduated high school, since it's been a 6-year journey for you? What are you hearing from them as far as what they got at Denton?
Well, one of the key themes that they talk about constantly is that they're prepared for high school. And that's what you want to see, is being able to have that student have that choice in where they want to go to high school, what they want to do in that high school journey. And so we've aligned our programs to make sure that we're taking care of the needs of the students. But also part of that process is listening to the students. Where do we need to make those changes, modifying our curriculum? And that's part of what the pre-AP program is going to allow us to do, is in this next step is about half the curriculum comes from the county level and the other half comes from the people at the pre-AP, and it aligns itself perfectly with the student making that next step into that academic rigor for the high school. And as everyone knows, pre-AP is a challenging curriculum throughout the high school, across the state and across the nation, and so that puts us in a perfect alignment for our students to succeed at that next level.
Now, Mrs. Dennis, one of the things that I remember from our days at Phillips, where you had some outstanding parental support, the PTA as well as any event that was held by the school. Are you still getting that, and how important is that?
Absolutely. Our parents are critical to the success of our students at Phillips Preparatory. We believe in bringing all stakeholders to the table. We love to getting input from our parents and having them with us when we're planning our programs for our students and thinking about activities for them, and just the support and reinforcing the curriculum that we provide at the school. We want our parents to reinforce at home, and they do a phenomenal job with that. And because we involve all of the stakeholders, I know you mentioned that Phillips was ranked 5th among middle schools in the state of Alabama, but Phillips is also one of the top 50 schools in the nation, ranked as one of the top 50 in the nation. Twice received the National Blue Ribbon Award, which is the highest award given by the U.S. Department of Education, as well as an Alabama Bicentennial School of Excellence. So that has to do with not just our outstanding students and teachers, but also our parents who support us every step of the way.
Thank you so much for bringing it up. We'll have to talk to Renee about not mentioning that ahead of time, but thank you so much for bringing that up, because it is important to know how our schools are ranked, not just in the state, but of course nationally. Mr. Gill, the same question to you about the importance of the parents, and are you pleased with your support so far?
Yes, the parents do a wonderful job in supporting their students, in supporting the school program. And just as Ms. Dennis said, it's vital for the parents to stay involved. Often when when the student moves from the elementary to the middle school level, they begin to want to separate a little bit and not have the parent involved. But at this level, it is absolutely vital that they stay involved. Stay involved, know your teacher, know what's going on in the classroom. We always have an open door policy. It's a challenge with COVID, but it's always an open door policy to talk with the teachers, talk with the staff to make sure that your child is getting what they need to be successful in the classroom. And having that partnership is absolutely vital at this stage.
And to ask both of you, are there openings still available for parents who are seeing the program today and wanting to have this for their child, the Magnet programs?
Yes, the Magnet application window is open through January the 25th. So we want all of the interested parents to review all of the different programs to decide which theme is best for your child, which focus is best for your child, and apply for one of our outstanding Magnet programs.
Mr. Gill?
Yes, we still have a limited number of spots available. They are filling quickly, so we encourage the parents to go ahead and make that decision. Now, if you are having a time as far as to what your child wants to do, whether it's at Phillips, whether it's at Clark, whether it's at Denton, I encourage them to get in contact with that principal. At Denton, they can shadow a class or two, and so a lot of kids that will come in, they'll say, this is the place for me, and some kids will say, this is not the place for me. And I'd much rather them figure that out beforehand so that they'll have a much more successful career at Denton. But we're always open, and so if you need to contact us, contact the counselor, contact the administration, we'll be happy to go ahead and arrange that. Your child will come out roughly at about first period or second period, spend about 2 periods with us. Some of the kids will tell your child exactly how it is at Denton, and so that gives them an unbiased opinion. I don't have any influence on them, but again, once the kids see that the hands-on approach that we take with them, and then the number of elective offerings, so we have something like 18 different electives that they can choose from, and so they do a wonderful job with it.
Excellent. Well, listen, we thank both of you, Mr. James Gill, the Denton Magnet School of Technology, and Mrs. Andrea Dennis with Phillips Preparatory for joining us this morning and sharing about the outstanding success and the potential for students and their families to see in their child in the future. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Our guest this segment, we're still talking to principals from the Magnet Schools of Mobile County Public Schools. And joining us in this segment, Mrs. Tamisha Taylor Jackson. She is the principal of the Clark Shaw School of Math, Science, and Technology. And also Dr. Valerie Johnson, principal of the Dunbar School of Creative and Performing Arts. Ladies, thank you both for being a part of our conversation this morning.
Thank you for having us.
We're talking about the success of the Magnet Schools in the Mobile County Public School system. Let's talk first, if we will, Mrs. Taylor Jackson. We're going to talk about Clark because Clark was recognized as the #1 magnet school for middle school in the state. How did that happen? Tell us what the formula is there for your success.
Well, it takes a lot of hard work. I have some very dedicated teachers who believe in our program and they believe in everything that they're teaching. It takes a lot of support from the parents. The parents believe in our program. So with the parental support and with a phenomenal staff, we worked hard together to achieve this goal. The students already believed in themselves. They believed in Clark Shaw. And so with that wonderful combination, we were able to achieve this goal. And so we were able to become #1 in the state.
Now tell me, I know some parents and I've heard also from some students who attend there, what is it that they are attracted to? Because they seem to have a love for the way that things are taught there at Clark.
Yes, parents oftentimes will stop me and say, you know, my child loves math or my child loves science, and so they will ask about the curriculum or they will ask, what can I do to get into Clark Shaw? Well, the thing is, if your child loves those things and loves technology, then now is the time to apply for the school because the curriculum itself is built around, and that is our theme at Clark Shaw, is to enhance the love of math and science and technology. Our courses are built on that. The courses are accelerated. student, and we hone in on those skills to help them with those critical thinking skills, analytical skills, and we apply all of that knowledge to those areas because those, of course, are the areas of interest for the student, and that is why Clark is successful. With that in mind, we were able to achieve Cognia certification. We are the only school in Southern Alabama to achieve that goal, and that is because we applied those skills with math and science to obtain that certification.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
indeed,
you.
And I'm sure that the Clark-Shaw family is very pleased and excited about that. Now, Dr.
are.
Valerie Johnson, you were at another elementary school, and of course, they saw the reasons for moving you to one of the top magnet schools as well. You are now at Dunbar, and tell us, what are your expectations for Dunbar?
So I'm very honored and excited to now be at Dunbar, and my vision is just to continue the great things that are happening at Dunbar. It is a wonderful school. I have only been there about a week, but I am incredibly impressed with both the student body, the faculty and staff members, and parents. They have been very welcoming to me, which I very much appreciate. So my goal will be to just continue that success, really focusing on instruction also, along with continuing the greatness of the creative and performing arts.
Now, Mrs. Taylor Jackson was talking about the student having a love of math and science and, of course, technology. Should that student have that also for performing arts to want to come to Dunbar?
Yes, I think there's a lot of research behind how when students participate in the creative and performing arts, there's a lot of research behind how that correlates to their achievement in the academic areas. So yes, it is wonderful when students love math or science, also language arts, the liberal arts, social studies. They go together. So both complement one another. So even if your child, if your child loves math and science, Dunbar can absolutely they will fit in well at Dunbar also. But again, the focus of Dunbar, it again is both. There has to be a balance. This is school, so we do expect that students will do well academically, but again, the creative and performing arts offer different outlets for students, and so there are many opportunities for students to be involved in a lot of different areas in the creative and performing arts at Dunbar.
Now, for those of us who have seen the programs like FAME and some of the more recent ones, is it like that, or what have you learned in the time that you've been there?
I have learned in the time that I have been there, I'm old enough to know FAME, the original FAME, and I don't know that I would say it's that, but the students have 2 electives at Dunbar, so for instance, we have a wonderful dance program, and we are the only school, the only middle school in Mobile County to have a dance company, and so your question in relation to FAME, yes, students dance every single day at Dunbar who are enrolled in dance, and so in that respect, yes, it's like FAME, but then they do have to go to their math and science classes also.
Mrs. Taylor Jackson, for those students who believe they are interested in math and science and they're feeling a leaning in that direction, is there a way to help them move into it to where they're not overwhelmed and realizing, say, well, maybe this wasn't for me, but just it was too early? So do you work them into it, and how does that process go?
Well, we do. Our 6th graders have that opportunity. When they come into Clark-Shaw, we kind of put them in groups and we put them on teams so that they have those teachers and a group of students who they travel with and change classes with each day. When they're in 7th and 8th grade, it's more of a high school. We ring the bell, they go from class to class, they see different students each day. But with 6th grade, we have 3 different teams. They see those 4 core teachers, and those teachers get to know them, they work with them, they are able to assist them, and that one of their classes, one of the 7 classes, they rotate back to a guided study to assist them to make sure they're on the right path, to give them extra support with those math classes, just in case they're struggling a little bit, just to ensure, because the transition to middle school is difficult for some students. Well, it's difficult for most students to middle school. So we're moving to middle school, we're transitioning to 7 classes, we have a theme, I loved math in elementary school, I made A's in elementary school, and now I'm struggling a little bit because I'm having to remember 7 classes and 7 teachers. I'm I'm having to take PE clothes. I'm taking everything I need for my elective. So sometimes 11-year-olds need a little support to get there. And I'm sure if you ask any of the Magnet principals, they can tell you that, because the classes are accelerated, so they are teamed together, and they do work together as a group until, of course, they get to 7th and 8th grade, and they can transition a little better. They're a little older, a little mature, so they have met more people, because you have to remember, when you're coming to a magnet school, you are leaving the people who you've been with in kindergarten through 5th grade, and you're meeting new people. So that is a little challenging for students, and so that does help if we team them together, they work together, and then you have your counseling sessions. You have a 6th grade counselor who can assist you with some things, and you have those counseling sessions with that particular person, and so we do help them transition with that.
All right, outstanding. We've got about 30 seconds left for ladies. Tell us if there are still any slots available at your 2 magnet schools.
Yes.
Okay.
And the application period is open now, so please take the opportunity to apply. If you know your child is interested in math and science or in fine arts, now is the time.
All right.
Yes, we have slots available in grade 6, 7, and 8 at Dunbar.
Yes.
Excellent. We thank you both so much for coming and sharing this morning. And of course, congratulations again to both of your schools for the outstanding success that you're having, both on the state level and of course the national level as well. Thank you, ladies, very much.
Thank you.
For more information on the Mobile County Public Schools Magnet Program, you can contact the MCPSS system at the phone number you see there on the screen. You can also check out its website at mcpss.com/magnetschools. That's spelled out as one word. Well, next up on Perspectives, there's a debate going on among residents and gun owners. Should adults be allowed to carry concealed firearms in certain public places without a permit, background check, or successful completion of a gun safety training course? Well, law enforcement has advocates on both sides. The Alabama Sheriff's Association is against it, while one of the state lawmakers who sponsor the bill is a police department official. Alabama House Bill 44 up for debate this legislative session. The controversial bill, though, would eliminate the need to obtain a concealed carry permit to carry a pistol in Alabama. Well, 2 Southwest Alabama sheriffs join us on Perspectives next Saturday morning to share their opinions. Well, please join us here next Saturday morning for Perspectives as we discuss those important issues and seek solutions. I'm Eric Reynolds. Have a great day ahead.
Thanks for watching Fox 10 News. Watch us live wherever you are on our mobile, our streaming news app, and you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.